Alrighty, this is gonna be part 2 of Legend of Dragoon. Oh boy. Anyways, Lavit says, Kaiser, long time no see. Kaiser says, Lavit, welcome. I see your knighthood was ... wiped out. Anyways, Lavit says, yeah, it was my mistake, but I won't let the dreams of my company end in death and be in vain. I'll end the war and unify Serdio. I will. Kaiser says we cannot stop until we make our dreams come true. Lavit says, yeah, now. I brought you two powerful helpers, Dart and Shanna. Kaiser says, oh, you're the famous guy who rescued Lavit. I'm Kaiser, the head of the 8th Knighthood. Nice to meet you. Dart says, could you inform me how we stand now? Kaiser says, we're still preparing for the raid of Sandoris. What I'm concerned about is the information that they are using a dragon. Lavit says, it's better to fortify here and see how they move rather than attacking a dragon that we don't know about. Dart says, then it'll be up to how fast we can spot the approach of the enemy. Kaiser says, great, indeed you are right. Dart, Lavit, why don't you be the guard at night? Having Shanna, too, is not a good idea. Can you prepare the meals for the knights? Wow. Shanna says, preparing meals? Okay, Dart, you're gonna love it. I just say, I'm looking forward to it. Okay. Lavit says, I am a bit concerned. Shanna says, what? Lavit says, mother gave me a nice compliment. Lavit says, I guess it may be edible. Shanna says, I don't like what Lavit said. Dart says, I can enjoy and eat any food. Just make a lot. Shanna says, I don't like what Dart said either. Kaiser says, I don't care about the taste. Edible is enough. Just salt is enough for flavor. Shanna says, even Mr. Kaiser. Lavit says, Kaiser, why are you stirring things up even more? Kaiser says, I thought I was trying to relax her. Now, that settles the matter. I want Dart and the others to go look around Hoax. The night guards have to know the place. After you look around, come back to me. Stay with me, Lavit. I want to go over the battle conditions with you. Dart says, now shall we? I thought Shanna was gonna cook food and not come with... I don't know. Lavit says, get along with each other. Dart says, yeah. This game was probably translated in 1 weeknight. Anyways, what to do next? Everything is under control. I am continuing my duty. Alrighty. I will protect this house no matter what. Fabulous. Guess that means I don't have to do anything. I heard that Sandora not only has a dragon, but it also has one of the legendary Gigantos. And I heard he's a pretty strong warrior. Okay. I could have swore that guy's supposed to, like... Well, the guide might be written wrong. Oh well. Kaiser says, did you see enough? I will take you to the guard position. I say, okay. Kaiser says, we just finished the strategic meeting. Now I'll take you to your position. I guess all I had to do was just talk to him again. Kaiser says, I want to ask both of you to guard the back gate. It's at the end of the stairs. Let's go quick and relieve the guard. Dart says, I'm here to replace you. You can trust us. Wow. The soldier says, yes, sir. Dart says, if Sandora attacks, it will likely be a night raid. How they know this, we don't know. Anyways, Lavit says, we cannot relax until morning. Rest while it's still light. Okay, so they're supposed to be watching, but they take a nap? Dart says it's strangely quiet tonight. If the dragon comes, we'll be able to tell easily. Lavit says, why is that? Dart says there are those in the forest. Doesn't even make sense. Nocturnal owls are hooting. It's proof that nobody is there. So, I'm gonna go grab something. Lavit says, worrying about Shauna? Dart says, it's not that. Lavit says, bring me back something. Okay, and where would this bitch be? Alright, I guess once we walk down the stairs, we will be attacked. The owls, says Dart. We hear a scream. And some arrows. Apparently the enemy is coming. Knighthood, advance, fortify the gate. Take care of the casualties. Yes, sir. We will counter them. Yeah. Oh my. The elite soldier says, is this the battle for the front lines of Basil? What a weak setup. Dart says, I will guard the top. Lavit says, gotcha. Trust me to handle the situation down below. Okay. The elite Sandora knight person says, what guts you have, coming alone like that. Lavit says, I'm here as well. I have those guys at the bottom. The elite says, 1 or 2 doesn't make any difference. Dart says, big talkers are usually weak. Enough playtime, says the elite person. Can you nail the real me? Sure. Maybe. I guess I did. First try. Excellent. Meanwhile, elsewhere, someone screams as a giant with an axe attacks. The knight says it's Giganto. Dart says Giganto in such a manner that it seems like he does not know what that means, but this guy's fucking tall as hell. Lavitz. I heard about it, but he is real. The ones who fought so far were no match for him. Dart says, well, at least he's not a dragon. Now go. It's fucking fighting time, baby. Yeah, stab him right in the dick. Congo needs to be Jew. Something to that effect. Oof. won, but I lost, I guess. Here comes Rose to save us. Wake up, says Rose. Dragoon of the Red-Eyed Dragon. Dart says, what the fuck is happening? As he changes into a Dragoon, I guess. Wow. If something smashed your head in that hard, I'm pretty sure you would die. What on earth is happening, says Dart. Anyways, we got some sexperience and a power wrist. These are not humans, says one of the guards. Lavit says, Dart, what happened to you? He clearly doesn't know if you were paying attention, get dildo. Dart says, I don't know what happened to me. Rose says, the night of the dragon, the Dragoon, was born. Ugh. Rose says, I'm surprised you didn't die. Kongol says, Giganto don't die. Giganto will pay you back. That is an ugly armor design. Shauna says, Dart. Dart says, you are safe. Shauna says, what happened? Dart says, seeing Shauna's face makes me relieved as he passes to out. Lavit says, are you alright? Obviously he is. Or there wouldn't be very much more game left. Anyways, that and, you know, this being a 4-disc game kinda alludes that the game isn't over until at least you put that 4th disc in. Anyhow, Shauna says, what are you to Dart? What did you do to him? Rose says, I was only... and trails off. Lavit says, cut it out, both of you, because apparently they're arguing. Rose says, I should be thanked, so why am I being yelled at? Lavit says, have you come too? Dart says, I was, and trails off. Shauna says, I'm glad you woke up. Dart says, you are. Rose says, I'm Rose. Nice to see you again. Shauna says, do you know Dart? Rose says, I told you, I just saved his life. Not only this one time. Shauna says, I want to hear it from Dart's own mouth. Lavit says, you explain. I don't understand. I'm gonna say she's an important person to me, just to piss off Shauna. Rose says, are you trying to seduce me? Dart says, no way. I couldn't make it even to Celeste without you, Rose. Shauna says, then the person who saved you from the dragon was... Dart says, yeah, it's her. Talking about being saved, I didn't thank you yet. Rose says, I don't need any thanks. I wanted to do it. Dart says, I see, but why are you here? It's too fishy to be a coincidence. Rose says, I followed you because I was fascinated by this artifact that you own. The Dragoon, spirit of the Red-Eyed Dragon. Dart says, this light is... Rose says you deserve to rule dragons. This light shows true evidence. From the time the Dragoon spirit starts to shine, you have to accept your fate as a Dragoon, just like me. Dart says, I didn't know there was such power concealed in my father's memento. Shauna says you saved him because you knew it from the beginning. Rose says, I didn't know it. It was a test to see if he could be a Dragoon. If you couldn't, you'd be dead. Lavit says, how do you know about such things? You know too much that nobody could know. Rose says it's better than ignorance, isn't it? Lavit says that's true, but yours is not mere knowledge. It's a story and a legend that has been lost. I heard about it from Minister Noish before. The people who led humans to victory in the Dragon campaign, they were the Dragoons. Dart says, but that was the only reason you protected me? Just because I have a Dragoon spirit? Rose says, honestly, I was surprised myself, but now I know why. You guys look like my dear old friends. They lived in the middle of a turbulent generation, yet they were strong enough to grab their own fate. They knew the way to go, the things to do, the enemy to defeat, and the people to protect. I feel the same way about you guys, so I couldn't help but intervening. Now you understand me. Shauna says, can I ask you one thing? What are they doing now? Rose says, everybody's gone. It's all in the past. Shauna says, I'm sorry. I think I was wrong about you, Rose. Rose says, it's okay. I am used to being hated. Is the head of the knighthood, Sir Kaiser, in here? The 7th fort is under strong attack by Sandoris. Lavit says, what? What, in the butt? I said, what, in your butt? The knight says, the 7th fort in the marshland is under fierce attack of the dragon. Due to that, the 10th and 13th knighthoods are almost overwhelmed. Survivors are still responding. Lavit says, where did it come from? The knight says, from the forest over the volcano of Elude. It seems there is a nest there for the dragon. Kaiser says, Gigantos and dragons. It's not a fight between humans. If we don't defeat the dragon, we don't have a future. Lavit says, summon the rest of the knights. We will assault the dragon's nest. Rose says, the knighthood has the advantage of numbers, but they are only human. Humans cannot defeat a dragon. If it continues, Basil will be annihilated. Lavit says, we don't know until we try. Rose says, do you think a wasted death is honorable or something? Rose continues, but Dragoons can defeat him. Dart, you should understand this. We have a different existence. We are beyond human. Lavit says, that's right, Dragoons, which were said to have governed the dragons, can fight against the dragon. They say dragon a lot in this game. I just say, maybe I can do it now. I felt the power of the dragon in me. It roared through my homosexual penis. I'll do it. I believe in this sexy power. The Kaiser says it makes me feel relieved. There is nobody left who can fight in the 8th knighthood. Dart, Rose, it seems you are the only people that we can rely on. He bows to them. Lavit says, Kaiser, your wound is open. Kaiser says, I'm alright. Dart, Rose, the kingdom of Basil is finished, unless we defeat the dragon. So, Dart says, you can trust me, I will fight for you too. Rose says, I'll go as well. It doesn't seem to be enough, if it is only Dart and the others. Kaiser says, Shauna, you should stay. Shauna says, I will go. I can help the other people as well. Rose says the green-tusked dragon, Fairbrand. Dart says it brings back the fear I felt before. Rose says the real fear has not begun yet. Alright, it looks like we're going to the marshland. The knight says it was super. What about it? Dart fella. Yesterday he wore unique armor and defeated Congo. With Dart, Sandora is not even a match as our enemy. Dart is the messiah of the kingdom of Basil. Rose says messiah, huh? You can't be called a real Dragoon getting stunned like that by bursting with the power. Dart says, then tell me, Rose. Dart says, how should I fight as a Dragoon? Rose says, well, let's begin. Oh, is this a fucking tutorial? What would you like to know? Not much. Alright, cool. Rose says, this is what I can teach. After that, it's up to you. I'll be here for a while. Go prepare for the departure. Once we leave the town, I will consider you as a mature Dragoon. I will not teach you how to fight anymore. I just say, okay, I'll be alright. Alright, we should probably change our party, maybe. Going to maybe unequip her of some stuff. How you doing, Sneezy? Sneezy, breezy, beautiful sneezes. Alright. Left, volcano. Straight, the 7th fort, kingdom of Basil. Oopsie. Oh, yay, it's one of these. Oh my God. Are you from Basil? I will not let you have your way, says Dart. I just say, get out of my way. No, doggy. I just say, is that all? Apparently there's more people to kill. Guess I'm taking a nap or something. I wonder if inside the fortress is safe, says Dart. Well, I'm gonna give Rose the thingy. Armed. Let's give him something else other than that war god thing. There we go. And she can have the war god, whatever the hell. Let's see what additions we had. Okay, she's only got the one for now. Oh my god, says Dart. Lavit says, hang on, we beat the Sandoras. The head of the 10th Knighthood says, Lavit, watch out for the dragon's breath. This is... He trails off. The end, apparently. Lavit says, we will wreak your revenge upon them. There are no injuries. Is that poison? He looks the same age as me. There is no ally or enemy for the dead. Please, rest in peace. Where do I go? I guess we have to go back to the fort. Looks like I just need to walk around, which is kind of weird. This game kind of does that a lot. Why am I missing so much? It says I need to like walk around a tree branch, but I'm not really seeing where that happens. Oh, probably should turn off the turbo. Those load times are just so ridiculous. That and the screen isn't perfectly synced, so that's kind of frustrating. Alright, looks like we're kinda getting somewhere. Straight. Volcano. Right. Town. Alright, where last I left you I got a little lost, but I found where I'm going next. Anyhow, I triggered a cutscene and Dart says, "What's wrong, Shauna?" Shauna says, "I'm fine. My foot was stuck in the mud. That's all." Shauna says, "See?" "Oh no." Dart says, "Did you twist your ankle?" Shauna says, "It's nothing." Dart says, "You can't stand up, can you? Come on, I'll give you a piggyback ride." Shauna says, "But it's embarrassing." Dart says, "What are you talking about? I used to give you piggyback rides all the time when you were younger. Don't you remember?" Shauna says, "Uh-huh, thanks." These people. Shauna says, "I'm such trouble, aren't I?" Dart says, "I don't think so." Shauna says, "I guess I should have stayed in Hoax." Dart says, "Are you serious?" Shauna says, "No, it's not so bad. I guess I had a bit of a weak moment." You know what? I have more confidence now. I can fight to help everybody. I'm not a drag on others, but I still cannot fight like Rose. Dart says, "Shauna, you have something only you can do, right? You don't need to pretend to be strong. Besides, you can rely on me more, like in the old days." Lavit says, "Dart, is Shauna alright?" Shauna says, "I'm okay now." My tongue is black from eating Jolly Ranchers. Shauna says, "The pain is gone. Let's go, everybody." That noise is sketchy. I don't like it. Alrighty, I think we're going to this volcano. I'm probably going to do a little bit of a shorter stream today, like hour and 20, because I have footage I need to blend together from the prior, whatchamacall this thing, video? Jesus. Dart says, "What's that?" Lavit says, "Is that an eruption of the volcano?" Rose says, "No, it's not." Rose says, "That is Firebird. It's bad timing showing up now. We still have to deal with the dragon." Dart says, "Can we just let it go?" Rose says, "It's up to him." Dart says, "He saw us. We better run." Assuming his sex, how rude. Shauna says, "It seems we lost him." Dart says, "Good, let's move on." Ooh, Spear Frost, whatever that is. Did she just die? Oh, or maybe they're asleep. I was like, what the hell? Where do I go? Doesn't seem like I can go down that way. Maybe I have to loop around here. These pathways kinda aren't very well defined. Plus the emulator stuff is out of bounds and I'm not sure how to fix it. But it's okay. We'll figure it out. Shauna says, "What is this feeling? Something is calling me." Dart says, "Shauna, where are you going?" Dart says, "You were being called by this?" Shauna says, "I don't know, but when I came here, I didn't hear the voice anymore." Dart says, "Is that thing alive?" Lavit says, "Looks like a stone statue." Shauna says, "Don't go near it." I feel that something is wrong. Rose says, "Listen to Shauna, this Virage is still alive." Dart says, "Virage?" Rose says, "You don't know about it? Well, I guess I'll have to explain it then. You know about the Dragon campaign, right? The Winglies were outnumbered, so they used this creature called Virage as their trump card in the war. Just as humans use the dragons, Winglies use this." Shauna says, "I thought the Dragon campaign was over 11,000 years ago. How can this thing still be alive?" Rose says, "I would say it's due to a hatred of humans, or a vendetta, I guess, against Dragoons." Rose says, "We gotta settle this." Dart says, "Or we could run." But it was too late. We must destroy whatever this fucking thing is. Oh my. It's kind of fugly. Fabulous. Oopsie. Well, it died, so... Whoa! It's dangerous here. Let's go back, says Lavitz, as the monster melts into the lava. He says, "Come on, Shauna. Are you alright?" Rose, run, says Dart. Anyways, Lavit's leveled up. Fabulous. Alright, so I guess we're done here. Nothing over meower. Oh, of course. Hello? Is anybody there? Says the voice that we don't recognize. Oh god. Dart says, did you hear something? Hey, help me, says the mystery voice. Shauna says, look over there. It's a man. Help me, my foot is sleepy, did I fail? Dart says, we got you. Who the hell is this dingleberry? The guy says, thanks, I didn't think I would make it. Shauna says, it's all good. Yeah, thanks. I can't thank you enough, but please at least take this. Shauna says, oh, we can't accept such an expensive item. Yeah, so you have to. You folks have saved my life. I'd feel bad if you folks didn't take it. Apparently that's his accent. Dart says, take it. Once decided, it's hard to take it back. It's a man thing. Is it now? Anyway, Shanna says, well, thank you. We acquired a sapphire pin. Daba says, I'm Daba, of Lohan. I was told I could find a burning gem around here, so I came, and look what happened to me. Look at what happened to me. By the way, I'm an antique dealer. If you happen to be in Lohan, why don't you drop by later? Shauna says, he is funny, even though he did nothing even remotely interesting. Oh god. Uh-oh. Lavin says, it's the Firebird. Dart says, Shauna, can we get to the exit? Shauna says, no, it's in flames. Dart says, I guess we gotta fight this thing. How does one fight the manifestation of fire in the form of an animal? I guess you just pour water on it or something. But I don't have any water, it's a volcano, it all evaporated. Son of a bitch. Yeah. I do not approve of what you just did, you dirty boy. Yo yo yo! Let's just kill it. Kill it. Kill it in the face. Oh my. It's getting spicy in here. Anyways, it died. Shocker! We got a red eye stone. And some level ups, I guess. Dart says, it was a hot fight. Apparently, he's super insightful and wise. He's a philosopher, one might say. Oh look, here's Dingle again. Daba says, oh brother, you folks are still here. My folks, you're looking pretty tired. Want to buy something? I probably already told you, but I'm a trader. Fuck off. Daba says, oh well, I'm gonna go back to Lohan soon, so if you need me, now is your chance, Yeah. I think I'm set, buddy. Set. Wet. Gotta go like a turbo jet. I'm tired of magazines. Saying flat books are the thing. Baby. Oh, god damn it. Killed Lava Jr. Oh, I love this. I love this encounter rate. It's so good. It's so juicy. Anyways, we're at the nest of the dragon. Rose says, guys, don't you feel something? This forest is contaminated by the dragon's poison. Lavit says, I see, that's why the Sandoras don't have a defense in this forest. A normal person cannot be exposed to this poison for very long. It's a natural defense. Shauna says, oh my. Dart says, what's wrong? Shauna says, I felt a little bit dizzy, that's all. Lavit says, I guess it is hard for a woman being a misogynist prick. Rose says, I'm a woman too, dipshit. Lavit says, you are special. Special, huh? Fine. I don't capitalize on a woman's fragility anyway. Shauna says, I don't mean to. Oh no! And collapses. Shauna says, I'm okay. See? Rose is also fine. But, I'm sorry. I need to go rest for a little bit. Dart says, Shauna? Dart says, are you alright? Shauna says, uh-huh. Don't worry, I don't feel sick anymore. Besides, I think I got used to the air in this place. Dart says, then can you go with us? Shauna says, sure. If I fall down here, there'd be no meaning to me coming with you. Lavit says, indeed. We can say the war is in our hands because the Kaisers cannot make a move. Dart continues, Shauna, please don't leave us like that. We don't know what awaits us. Shauna says, sorry. Dart says, let's move on. Rose says, they're playing brother and sister. Lavit says, yeah, they're always like that. Yeah, they are kind of fucking annoying. Kind of being an understatement. Wow, we fell down a spiderweb. Dart says, good, you've come around. Shauna says, yes, I think I'm fine. This bitch trips over a rock every 3 seconds. So fucking annoying. Shut up. Dart says, where are we? Rose says, we're in the nest of the dragon. Dart says, well, at least we don't need to look for Fairbrand anymore. Rose says, what confidence you have. Is that because you're a Dragoon? Dart says, I guess. Shauna says, guys, take a look at this. There's still pure water left in this forest. At least the entire forest is not spoiled. Dart says, let's go. If we defeat the monster, the forest will be saved. Bunch of fucking uppity do-gooders. They're just all so pure and innocent. It just gives me a headache. Oh, I got to take 3 steps. Awesome. Kill these bitches! What a spooky plant. Oh god. Can't be dealing with them spooky plants. What's going on? Ah, I got it. When it's touched, it reacts with that. Oh boy. Some clever wordplay here. Maybe I have to touch it from the other side. Yeah, must be. That's some fancy water if it cures all your wounds. Alrighty, looks like got rid of all the dingle bobs or whatever the fuck they're called. Dear God. Alright. Guess we gotta go back around. Who is this? Says the man in the red and gold outfit, I presume. Is that you, Lavitz? It's so ironic to find you venturing here. Lavitz says, you're Greeham. Dart says, do you know him? Lavitz says, I will never forget him. He used to be the head of the second knighthood of Basil. Greeham. Lavitz says, the man who used to be my father's best man. Oof, who wrote this shit? Or translated it. Anyways, Graham says, welcome, Levitt. You have become a knight, fulfilling the wishes of your late father, Servi. Levitt says, don't you ever mention my father's name. Greham says, are you still carrying that grudge after more than a dozen years for my betrayal of your father? Lavitz says, that's not all. You betrayed King Albert. You betrayed every single person I know. Greham says, is that the wrath of a patriotic knight, or a man full of vengeance? Lavit says, both. Greham, now I get to avenge my father, who trusted you and died in vain. Greham says, get revenge, huh? Try. See if you can truly best me in my newly obtained power. Greham says, emerge the power of the dragon. Oh my. Lavit says, you're a Dragoon? Rose says, it shouldn't be a surprise. Only the Dragoons can manipulate dragons. Behind the dragon, there should always be a Dragoon. Oh my. Greham says, this is the power I obtained. Rose says, obtaining that power is not an easy matter. Where did you get the Dragoon spirit? Greham says, I'm amazed there's someone in Basil who knows about this. Fine, you too will know. Before you die. His Majesty Dole got all his power and intelligence from Emperor Diaz. Rose says, is this some kind of dream? Emperor Diaz died 11,000 years ago, with the name of the Holy Imperial Gloriano. Greham says, if this is a dream, how can you explain what you're about to see? Greham says, come, I give you a chance to avenge your father, if you have the courage to fight against the legendary Dragoon. Yeah, mama's a legendary sluttoon. Yeah, let's hit everybody with our fancy magic. Ugh, I got a deep gash. Anyways, apparently we killed them in one hit. I actually shouldn't have Dart's fancy dragon yet, but Dragoon or whatever. Greham says, you have Servy's strength. My efforts were to no avail. I even used betrayal to obtain this power. Lavit says, I still don't understand. Why did you betray my father? Were you not like him at one point? Greham says, nobody could be stronger than your father. That was the only thing I could never conquer. I had admiration for him as a mate and as a friend. But time goes by, and it turned into this feeling. This fear from realizing the limitations of your own abilities. This fear that goes nowhere. The only thing you can do is curse yourself for weakness. Lavit says, but you couldn't overcome your fear by defecting to Doel. You needed to overcome my father. Greham says there was an alternative. If only I could obtain a new power, I could be equal to or surpass him. That was the Dragoon spirit I got from His Majesty Dole. Greham says, Lavit, live strong. Now I can go to be with Servy. Rose says he's lucky to be dead now. Greed for power eventually conquers you. Unleashed power generates only sorrow. He should have known that. He was lucky to die now and avoid even more sorrow. Lavit says, what is this? Rose says, such a coincidence. It can't be. Or, is this fate? Dart says, Lavit, maybe you too are, and trails off. Rose says, Dart is right. The Dragoon spirit of the Jade Dragon recognized you as the next master. Lavit says, I'm a Dragoon. I deserve to rule dragons. Rose says, not only do you deserve it, but you have an obligation to accept your fate, don't you? Lavit says, it's what Greham left over for me. I understand. I will accept it, the fate of a Dragoon. I will use this power for justice. Like Dart and Rose. Rose says, use it for justice. Anyways, we acquired the spirit of the Jade Dragoon. Shauna says, good for you, Lavit. And almost falls over again. Dart says, Shauna. Shauna says, I can't breathe. Dart says, too much poison. Lavit says, we cannot make it over Velude carrying Shauna. Then we have to go to Lohan. Dart says, that commercial town? Lavit says, yes, that's it. I heard there's a great doctor there. Dart says, hurry. Yeah, most cities would have doctors in them. Guess we're climbing up this thing. They're like, oh, we can't carry her. But apparently we can climb up this thing with her. Oh. Left, crosscut to Bale. Right, Dragon's Den. Beware. Slides. Slides are fun. Why should I beware them? I really don't like the world map music. It's just kind of like depressing. Anyways, commercial town of Lohan. All towns and villages have some commercial activities. So why would they name it this? Dart says, what a crowd, and we're in the middle of a war. Shauna says, it's true. If I were fine, it would be fun. Dart says, you'll get well soon enough. Sanator, apparently maybe the doctor guy, says I couldn't believe it was dragon's poison until I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I have never seen such symptoms. There is nothing wrong with the body, at least that's how it seems. But her consciousness has closed inward after she arrived here. It seems the mind is poisoned, not the body. I don't think the clinic can help her. I'm sorry, but in this condition, it could be a week if she is lucky. Dart says, is there nothing you can do? Sanator says I'll do everything I can. What was such a cute girl doing with a legendary monster? Lavit says she fought against it to save the country. Think hard, is there anything you can do? Sanator says hold on. If we can get some Dragoni plant, she may yet survive. Dart says, really? Sanator says I read it in a secret heirloom book. The problem is, as with dragons, Dragoni plant exists only in legends. I cannot say for sure if it really exists. Dart says, even so, we cannot wait like this, doing nothing. Let's go look for Dragoni plant on our own. We at least might be able to find something in this town. Lavit says Lohan is a commercial town, where everybody is welcome. There should be some information here. Sanator says, although it is temporary, I will try to staunch the poison. I am not called the best doctor in Serdio for nothing. I will rise to the occasion. Yes, let's leave a paralyzed young girl with this creepy old man. He definitely isn't gonna do anything to her. Probably. The fuck? What an annoying map. I lost my son. He is wandering away. I told him so many times not to do that. So you're gonna hang out at your house and do nothing, I guess? What a great parent. Oh dear god, these fucking load times are so atrocious. How do I leave this shithole? Alright. Looks like we got out of there. The girl across the street seems to be interested in me. Looking at the guy across the street makes me feel at ease. The reason I feel that way is... And she trails off, as though speaking to herself. Like we were never even there to begin with. This town is a little too big for old people. People should be more considerate. That makes no fucking sense. Where am I fucking climbing? Oh my gosh, I used to have a condo where all the frickin' AC units were on the roof. And I had a top floor condo, so sometimes we would hear people walking around on the roof. It was really annoying. Oh boy. I guess we're gonna stay at the inn really quick here. Where is it? Where is it? Did you know how to get to Daba's antique shop? I'm lost. It's almost as if the developers built this place shitty on purpose. Because that's literally what they're telling me. Oh my god, the fucking slowness of this game. Recently, the war is getting more intense, and our business has suddenly gone down. I have no energy to do business. Okay. I visited Kaza the other day, and warriors were saying that the Imperial Sandora has a dragon. Ugh, this music is terrible. Hopefully that just turns it off. It's such a good chance. Why don't you dress up a little? We have a whole line of great clothes. Alright. You are at the Merchant Guild. Alright. I guess that's a place. Wanna buy something. I really don't. Every time a new store opens, they built an addition, and in the end it became like a maze. Yo, brother, how about some weapons? Step inside. Anyways. Well, now I have 3 of those, so that'll be nice. Daba says, welcome. Dart says, Daba. Lavit says it's the goofy merchant from the other day. Daba says, I'm glad you folks are here. Thanks for Vilude, really. Now I can run my business. So what do you want? You can find anything in Daba's Antiques. Bitch, do you have a plant? Daba says, you got it. I have everything from extremely rare medicine to secret magical medicine. Dart says, have you heard of the Dragoni plant? I heard it's a very rare herb. Daba says, the Dragoni plant, all excited. Dart says, do you have it? The guy says, no. Dart says, Daba? Oh no, don't get mad, I was just kidding. But let me think harder. I remember hearing about it somewhere. Hold on a sec. Well, in this secret notebook, yes, it's in here. It says, north of the poisoned forest, past the troublesome plant. Observed Dragoni plant. In back of the shrine. Lavit says, it reminds me, I saw a strange plant in the back of the forest when Shauna took a rest. Rose says, oh, the one that became a monster because of the dragon's poison. But you can't get past it, unless you purify it with something. Lavit says, how about the spring water underground? That might help the plant. Dart says, that's it. Thanks, Daba. Daba says, hey, what about the shopping? That's all. Yes, motherfucker, that's enough. I don't like you. I do not like that man. Ugh, how do I get out of this shithole? Oh god. The street vendor says, hey, classy brother, I have something you'll like. No, you don't. Dart says, that reminds me. We need something to carry the spring water. Let's have a look around. The street vendor says, that's my man. You have a sharp eye. I guarantee that these are good buys. Dart says, I want a bottle to put water in. Do you have one? The vendor says, sure. This one's durable and the best quality that you can get. Dart says, how much? The vendor says, it's a super bargain. How about... Oh my god, how many zeros is that? Is that $100 million? Lavit says, let's look somewhere else. The vendor says, wait a minute. I was just kidding. Don't take me so seriously. Dart says, what's the real price? The vendor says, $3 grand. I'm gonna say, fuck you. Dart says, that's way too much money. The vendor says, well, I'll give you a discount. How about $2,200? Yeah, fuck you. Can't you do better than that? Drop it once more. The vendor says I can't win. Take it, it's free. Dart says, well, if you insist, thank you. Fucking asshole. I didn't know I was gonna get it for free. I feel kinda bad, but... I mean... It's an NPC in a video game, I think I'll get over it. Welcome to our shitty town, where I stand in front of the exit, blocking your bitch ass. What a fuck. Whatever that is. He's a fuck. Oh god, now I gotta go back in this shithole for some reason. Fucking Christ. Let's reuse this shitty location. Jump in the hole. Right. Let's go get that water. Pardon me, I'm like dehydrated today for some reason. Dart says, let's hope for the best with this water. Lavit says, according to Daba, we have to get rid of that plant in order to get to the shrine with the Dragoni plants. We acquired life water. Dart says, come on, let's go. Don't mind if I fucking do, Pikachu. Ugh, I gotta dink around in a shithole filled with bitches. Oh, fuck you, game. $100 million. What the fuck is this? What a dingle. Punch that motherfucker in the dick. That motherfucker. Evil plants, evil plants. Wouldn't you like to see them do a dance? Evil plants. Do plants dance? I don't know. I don't know shit about fuck. That's a quote from the show The Ozarks on fucking Netflix. The girl who plays Ruth or woman, I don't know her age in real life, but like, she's just a fucking awesome actress. Like, she says that in one of the episodes with so much vindication, it's just like, how do you argue with it? Like, she's like, I don't know shit about fuck. And I think that is the best way to answer any stupid question anybody ever has for you, is to say those exact words. I don't know shit about fuck. How do you argue with such a thing? You don't. Actually, I should probably check these editions and see if we got some better ones. Burning Rush, Gust of Wind, whatever. Let's get the fuck out of here. Where's the fucking evil plant at? He loves that shit. Can I, like, cross that somehow? I don't know. Living dangerously. I'm playing without the guide today for some reason, because I'm too lazy to fucking Google it. Just too old. Can't live this way anymore. Alright. Fabulous. God damn it. this the plant? I don't know. Looks like a spider web to me. Oh, the plant is wilting, says Dart. Forgot I was on mute. Alright, the Shrine of Shirley. Who the fuck Shirley be? This looks like it's gonna be fun. Dart says, what's up? A sculpture of a dragon? Lavit says, I hope nothing bad will happen. Rose says, take out your Dragoon spirits. Dart says, they are resonating together. Lavit says, it means there's a Dragoon in there. Rose says, go and see with your own eyes. Dart says, let's move on. I remember hating this place. I am busy. Get out, says the sign. Christ. Is this monster like a sentient form of a chunk of crystal? Don't mess with Sir Drake. Get out of here. Fuck you. Oh god. Here is another sculpture. Oh yay. Give up, will ya? Says the box. Statue facing left. Okay. Well, if I find a statue, I guess I move it to the left. It's resonating again. I feel refreshed. My fatigue is gone. Resonance has that effect. Oh, fuck, okay. What's this thing? What is this? There are 3 plates, all with numbers from 1 to 5. It seems like some kind of apparatus with a numerical lock. Why don't you give it a try, Dart? Oh, okay. Let's give it a try. Let's fucking give Googling the answer a try. Legend of Dragoon. Shirley Shrine. Let's see. Three, 5, 2, apparently. The last number. Fabulous. Dart says I did it. Sure you did, buddy. I guess there's another puzzle. Gold statue front, silver statue left. Okay. Oh god, what's happening? Alright, hopefully we've done that correctly. Thanks, game. What a merry guy you are. What a fucking asshole. Someone's trying to kill us. It's apparently Drake. It's amazing you made it through all the traps, but your luck is over, 'cause I won't let you go any further. Come on, draw your sword. Dart says, wait, we're just here to look for a plant. We don't want to fight you. Drake says, you want me to believe that? You must be after the treasure, aren't you? Dart says, that's not it. Rose says, it's quicker just to beat him. Drake says, you thieves! Now you reveal your true selves. Prepare yourselves. Let's kill this fucking Dingleberry. Fuck this guy. I'm gonna blast him with my ball. He's gonna love it. Divine Dragon Cannon. Well, he's fucking dead. Oh, he lived. Interesting. Whatever. Let's use Astral Drain. Alright, now he's dead. We leveled up, kids. We're fucking awesome like that. Drake says I have to protect Shirley. I guess that's Shirley. Shirley says, Drake, it's gonna be okay. People with Dragoon spirits, why are you disturbing my quiet moment? Lavit says, what are you? Dart says, we're not here for that. We're here to save our friend's life. Shirley says, the life of your friend. Rose says, do you remember me, bitch? Shirley says, you are, and trails off. Rose, aren't you? Oh, I understand. You have been on your sad journey since then. Rose says, you too, Shirley. Dart says, won't you spare me some Dragoni plant? Shauna is suffering from dragon's poison. Shirley says, dragon, oh, they are still clinging to life. Unfortunately, I don't have any Dragoni plant. Dart says, then what about Shauna? Fuck Shauna, dude. Who cares? Shirley says there is only one way to save her. Dart says, I'll try anything. Just tell me. Dart says, another Dragoon spirit. Shirley says, a dragon's poison can be removed with the Dragoon spirit of a white silver dragon, which is filled with healing magic. You dumb bitch. Oh! Now, I will challenge you to see if you deserve this Dragoon spirit. Shall we begin? Try to overcome me. If you cannot do it, the girl's fate is to fucking die. Bitch. Alright, let's kill this fucking whore. How do you like cannonballs, baby? She loves them. She loves balls. Let's blast her. She has a really creepy face. What the hell? Nice try, Shirley. Dear Lavitz, why do you fight? To protect those we love. Dart, bare your heart. Stab this fucking hoe. I don't know, we shouldn't attack her, should we? I have no choice. She must die. Shanna. Shanna! Get her! Stab that hoe. Dart, I saw your heart. However, I cannot give you my spirit. You lost control. Think it over again. Why doesn't she just die? That's what God wants. Yeah, penetrate her. Right in the veg.
Just the wind dance.
Whip smack!
She disco balled me right in my eye holes. Dart, I've been waiting. Why did you leave without saying a single word? None of your business, ho! That's awful! Well, that's not the right answer. To pursue the black thingy. Well, I don't have a choice to do anything other than attack, I guess. Alright, I don't know. Doesn't seem like we can kill her by stabbing her to death. I'm gonna say I don't know yet. I knew it. You were always like that, Dart. You always rush off without thinking about others or the consequences. You won't be able to make it like that. Oh, well, fuck you, lady. Of course, to get revenge. Revenge? Please, forget about revenge and be with me. The black monster and me, Dart. I don't know, let's just say Shanna. Really? I'm so happy. Apparently that's wrong. I see, I understand that I am unable to persuade you. Okay. Lavitz, show me what you believe. Lavitz, what are you doing here? Forget Shauna and go back. That's not like you. Are you disobeying my order? I guess. We know that you're not really him, you dumb ghost lady. Just, what a troll affair this is. Shauna needs me. Lavitz, well said. That's the renowned knight of Serdio. Life is precious, whether it's one or many. Help out with Shauna. Dart, advancing will bring truth as well as ordeals. And you still want to go? I just say, no matter what, I will go. Brave young people, what you'll see is all the truth. Never gaze away. Only total acceptance. Brings you to the way. Lavitz, I ask, who is the most important person for you to protect? Mommy. It's human to care about your parents. You are human before being a knight. Parents care for children and a child yearns for its parent. The bonding makes a human strong. Don't forget you have somebody waiting for you. Lastly, Rose, I ask you, what does life mean to you? I don't know, let's say. I never thought about it. Rose, I see the end to your agonizing journey. The young man there will awaken to the old you and lead you to the future. Now, illuminate the dark road with my white silver Dragoon spirit. The new Dragoons. We fucking beat her. I guess. Acquired Dragoon spirit. Shirley says, that was beautiful. Take this with you as I promised, but I have one favor to ask. He has protected my peace from countless attempts by bandits. He stood up to you for me. Please, save Drake. I don't have an entity, so I cannot draw on the power of the spirit. Dart says, but I don't feel any power holding it like this. Rose says, hold it up with the spirit of the red-eye Dragoon spirit. This is... Shirley says, your red-eye dragon draws the healing power of the white silver Dragoon spirits. Ah. Am I alive? Shirley says, good. Dart says we can save her with this. Shirley says, Dart, gazing at the truth sometimes brings pain, but you will be able to overcome it. She said, but... Shirley says, farewell, Rose. I am looking forward to the date that our roads of fate cross again. Shirley? Rose says she is headed to the place where she belongs. Apparently hell. Anyways, Dart says, let's go. Shauna's waiting. Fuck Shauna. She's a hoe. Shirley, where'd you go? Fucking Dingleberry. Oh. That's where all these were hidden. Here ha ho ha ha ho. Here ha ho ha ho hey. I would kill all these motherfuckers and then say that you should lick my balls. I'll give them both to you if you lick me like you do. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Shazam! Shazam! Shayna. Where's my Shayna? Dear God. Let me out of here. Oh, I have to go back in this shithole? Of course. Bow, bow, bow. Can't just teleport over to her, huh? Alrighty, well, I'm kinda lost again. I'll just end this stream here. I gotta stitch my video anyway, and then I will likely be back on more tomorrow with more. Anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.